And now we shift our focus to West Asia, Saudi Arabia to be specific. The country has become the favorite destination for Indian workers in the Gulf. More than 178,000 Indian workers have taken up jobs in Saudi last year. And this is according to data from the Government of India. The number has increased fivefold since 2021. What's more, experts believe that more Indian workers will be taking up jobs in Saudi Arabia in the coming years. So why is this happening? What explains this? Well, for starters, Saudi Arabia is investing more than $500 billion in ramping up its infrastructure. The massive infrastructure push is the brainchild of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Saudi Arabia already hosts the second biggest Indian diaspora globally, next only to the United States, and the biggest in the Gulf region. Its hiring slowed down significantly during the pandemic, but the COVID trend is now reversing. More Indian workers are taking up jobs in Saudi Arabia when compared to other Gulf countries. Let's now take a look at previous years' hiring trends for the region. The hiring of Indians in the UAE is yet to reach the pre-COVID levels. The country just hired 33,233 Indian workers back in 2022. In 2019, the figure stood at more than 76,000. Meanwhile, in 2022, Kuwait emerged as the second most preferred destination for Indian workers. More than 71,000 Indian expats moved to Kuwait in 2022. As far as Qatar is concerned, there has been a slight year-on-year decrease in Indian expats moving there. That brings me to my next question. What do Indian workers do in West Asia? Well, more than 70% of Indian expats in the Gulf region comprise blue-collar workers, meaning they are laborers or have low-skill jobs. 20 and 30% of Indians working in West Asia are professionals or highly skilled workers. So here's the thing. It is not always hunky-dory for Indian workers in the Gulf. Many of them come from modest and poor backgrounds. And once in the Gulf, they risk being exploited. According to the Indian government, around 6,000 Indian workers died in Saudi Arabia in 2020 and 2022. This is the highest globally. In the UAE, the figure stood at more than 4,000. In fact, most Indian worker deaths in recent years have taken place in Gulf countries. So why do you think Indians continue to go to Saudi Arabia for work? Well, the answer is simple. Money. Blue-collar workers earn more in Saudi Arabia than they could have earned in India. I'll give you a rough estimate. It would take an Indian worker 10 years to earn what he is paid in Saudi Arabia in 1 year. So a job in the Gulf means the worker is able to send more money back home to his family. That job is the difference between sending his children to school or forcing them into child labor. That job means progress. It helps the worker and his family climb the social ladder. And of course, all of this comes at a cost. And as for the host nations, the Gulf countries, the Indian workers remain an asset, a linchpin of their economic growth. They are hard to do without. WION World is One is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.